Morning. Are you sitting? Top 10% of the graduating class. I couldn't help but notice that 5 or 7 things, including the valedictorian.
What list?
The band released their top 10% of the graduating class. There were 17 kids' names listed, 5 of them varsity football, including the valedictorian. Reviews. Yeah. Coach Moffitt's son was on that list.
I like that deal they have for adopting the senior.
Yeah. I understand that Canyon ISD will make a decision this week about the date and format.
You know, I would have a regular deal. I think it's going to be in football stadium.
Are they doing it in May or June? Band has already decided they're going to do theirs in June. June 5th is the first option, and June 26th is the second option. But their plan is to spread out everybody, including the graduates. So the graduates are basically going to cover the entire football field because of their social distancing.
One thing is they didn't have it. So the families in the graduate sitting together.
Yeah, no, in band, they're not allowing more than 2 to 6 family members per graduate, and they have to sit apart in the stands. 6 to 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
And everybody has to wear a mask.
Oh, really?
That's what they're saying now. And band, graduation. They're not going to social distance. Everybody's going to sit 6 to 10 feet apart, including graduates. But I understand whatever plan these school districts submit for graduation, what they want to do for graduation, the plan has to be submitted to the Texas Education Agency for final approval. Yes. They offer their facility to all 10 county schools. The Texas Motor Speedway. But they have to social distance.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, got to get your kitchen real quick. Everybody make sure yourself on where you're draw for me, please. Thank you. Good morning.
Texas Motor Speedway seats what 150,000 people, so be easily spread everybody apart.
One more thing I didn't mention, the 10-person rule has been repealed. The limited 10 persons in the meeting, before we ask everybody to keep this between 60 or so. Thank you.
The barbershop's open. That's much over with.
Okay. Better not quick, or I'm gonna start writing.
You and me both.
Are you a citizen? I can even say that.
Right. Oh, did she do that?
She did what she does now.
Thank you for being here. Call to order a special session of Zandt County Commissioner Court, Monday, May the 4th, 2020, 9:05 a.m. Council form is established with all members of the court present. Scott, did anyone sign up for public comment? No one signed up for public comments, so we'll move to item number 3, discuss and consider installing petition timber glass, Canton, Wills Point, and Bentonville tax assessor workstation areas. Our tax assessor collector, Shirley Chisholm, is present. Shirley, would you like to address the board?
Okay. Just stand right here, right?
That-
I sent the agenda fact sheet over, and basically why I'm coming before you guys today is to okay the modification to the tax assessor workstation areas in our Canton, Wills Point, and Ben Wheeler offices. Our Grant Saline office already has glass in it. And then also to the tax assessor vehicle inventory tax budget amendment. Is to discuss and consider installing a partition with tempered glass in the Canton, Wills Point, Ben Wheeler tax assessor workstation areas. And there's quotes attached to what I sent to you guys. And discuss and consider modifying the tax assessor door to a half door. That would be the tax assessor's office. And to just make it a half door where people can't come in. We have kids come in all the time, come behind my workstation, play on my keyboard, and yeah, need to get your children. And then of course people always want to come in there. I've been a hugger. Everybody wants to come in there and hug and do everything. So if we have the half door, they'll kind of prevent that from happening. And then also to discuss and consider amending the VIT, which is the vehicle inventory tax budget, to include updated account balance of $22,032.41 as of April the 30th, and update capital expenditures to that same amount, $22,032.41. And then the glass to be installed is in the Ben Wheeler office. The cost is $1,848.78. And that's to go from our clerk as she's looking out. It'll start at this end and it'll go right past her area where she will see people. And then Wills Point, we already have glass in Wills Point, but they are slide windows. And so he said he could go in front of the slide and put a little slot where they can pass through. And then at the end of the day, they can lock their door like they did before. And that cost for both of those workstations is $625. I need to go back. On the Ben Wheeler one, I was looking at the deposit. That total cost was $3,697.56 for the Ben Wheeler, not 184,878. And then in the 625 for both of those windows. And the deposit is $312.50. I'm assuming that it's half of everything that I'm telling you they're wanting to deposit. And then in the Canton office, for all the workstation area all around, the total is $8,987.77, and the deposit is $4493.88. And then the tax assessor office desk, it would go in the front, and there would be a slot for them to pass through to, and they has to have two small sides on each side to hold the glass. and that is $1,802.64 with a deposit of $901.32. And then the amended budget, the account balance as of September the 30th of 19, it was $14,850.23. And as of April the 30th, it's $22,032.41. And so I'm asking to amend that budget and put all the capital expenditures for that total amount in case we need anything in the future to $22,032.41. And that would be to install partition, tempered glass in Canton Mills Point, Ben Wheeler workstation areas, and modify the tax assessor door to a half.
Okay. So she's not asking permission to, and that's why there's some debate, whether or not she has to come to commissioner's court. She's not asking permission, it's her money. It's not, it doesn't come from the general budget. It's money that she's glad to spend the way she chooses for that office. But because the buildings fall under the control of the commissioners or the county, we felt like I felt like it was important that she come with the commissioner and say, look, I'm going to put glass up between, and that's the reason we call it a special session, because y'all are open today.
Yes, we are.
They're open to limited access, you know, and checking stuff. But they're open, but to protect the employees
Yes.
and everything, to put that glass up. She doesn't need permission for the money, but she does need permission to do that to the building for the protection of her employees. Is there anything Cindy on the money part of it, or?
No, the balances she presented to the court are correct.
Okay.
And she does have to get the court has to approve her budget annually for this CIT money. So I hope she can come before the court to amend that budget that she presented to y'all last year.
And I'm glad that Misty is here today,
Oh, yeah.
so that we're all transparent, we know what's
That's
going
right,
on, because that's a lot of money to be, the total amount for the glass for all offices was 15,000 something. $15,112 and $12.97 for all of those offices.
Okay.
And so our budget, you know, we have in our budget is 22,000. So it'll use a big portion, pardon me?
It's a big money in there.
But it's going to be well worth it. I mean, we've needed the glass for a long time
We're gonna be battling
for
this
the
for a while.
protection. Pardon me?
We're gonna be battling this for a while anyway.
So, yeah.
It's gonna be here long. Or come back.
Chairman, not only will this provide some distancing between our virus that's going on now, but in the future, with security too.
Now, it's not bulletproof.
It does
Provide
Yes.
some sense. of
Yes, because
security.
before, they're standing before my clerks, and all they have to do is reach over there across and.
We did it in the JP office. 10 years.
Yeah.
I think-
Yeah, we needed it a long time.
But I'll make a motion to accept the budget
Second.
and work on the building there.
Okay, so your motion would cover item number 3, 4, and 5. Yes, sir. Okay. So the motion is to approve installing the glass, the tax assessor office door, the half door, and then amending the VIT budget to include. Everybody. That is his motion.
Can I say this?
Is there a second? Okay. That motion by Commissioner Pearson, second by Commissioner Brown. Second by Commissioner West. Okay.
And I did just fail to mention that on the tax assessor half door, I did contact Carl Waddell, and he said that they're closed right now, but maybe in a couple of weeks, or whenever I find out that it's been approved, I would contact him, and he would try to get someone to come and do that, so there's not that much cost to that. There might be a little for materials, I don't know, but I said, just cut the door in half.
She had material.
She can take that out.
Yes.
Be sure to go this direction.
Yes. We planned on that.
Any other questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, so am I thinking I can go ahead and contact the glass company and have them order? And if they require this deposit, I would just write one of the FT checks. Now I'll give you copies, or the auditor's copies.
She's not required to do any purchase orders. She doesn't have to follow the duty. It's hard to restrict.
There you go.
Okay, but I'll provide that to the auditor with my monthly, so she'll know what I spent it on. Is that
Thank
it?
you. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you all very much.
Item number 6, discuss LGS issues. That's LGS software issues with elected officials, department heads. I know there was discussion last week with the Aaron, you can't hide it. And,
I was reading these notes.
oh, yeah. And there was some discussion back and forth, and Virgil had requested that we put it and just bring everybody for discussion as to where we're at.
That's exactly right. Just need to have an understanding forward what direction we're going. Let's do that too.
Yeah, and I spoke with Papa and Chris, and I heard from Karen, I don't know where you're at with it now, but one point was frustrated with LGS, was at your end.
Was like,
You was at the end.
oh, yeah.
And then Susan had issues, and I talked to Papa said hers is working pretty good.
Great.
Working great, she's very pleased with it. Chris said, his is, he still got some issues with it, but it's going to be a lot better and everything. So I guess, Karen, I want to hear from you. Where are we at with your office, with your department?
Well, we just have some major issues, like whenever they're indicted and we have sealed indictments, all of Chris's employees can still see all of our sealed cases. They can't fix that. They can't, we've asked them and asked them, they just seem like that is, they can't get that fixed. That's one of the major issues with it.
Can't fix seal cases.
They can't fix the sealed cases. They can't, nobody can see them, and I think it's either all has to see them or we can't.
And this isn't bash LGS.
No, those are just
Well,
issues that are very
we're gonna
important
issue.
that,
And get them fixed. Papa said she's willing to be the go-to person for LGS. And so, rather than go through all the issues here, I would ask all the department heads, and they're going to use it.
Same thing. Yeah.
And y'all pleased with it?
We are, I mean, it's got its little quirks, but it's nothing like that.
Okay. Here's what I would like to do. I would like for someone to make a list, talking to Chris and Honda. We don't know how to fix it if we don't know that it's not working. Make a list of your issues in your office and get them to Honda where she can address. Is there any? Honda, you
Yeah,
can address it for us.
Yes, sir, that's perfect. If each department head will give me a list, I don't mind being the go-between. I have found that when you follow their communication protocol, that you get very, very good response. And one of the things that we were told was better or different about this company was that rather than having a set way that the software worked and we had to conform our workflow to the software, that they could make changes and conform the software to our workflow. I found that to be correct. The other day when I was working on the stages, I needed to be able to certify TRN number. I called and I said, y'all don't have the capability to certify TRN numbers? Well, nobody's ever asked for that. Within 10 minutes, they had put it in the patch, and I now have the capability to certify TRN. So they do have a ticket system like our IT department, and I found that when you use that system, that you get very good response to the issues. So I think if we have a central repository of the issues, like I know Karen had mentioned that casually about the sealed cases before, but it just didn't register with me to get it addressed. But if I have it on a piece of paper in front of me, then it'll register with me to get it addressed. That's an issue. We need that fixed. Because if other people can see it, that means if the public walks up to the public terminal that there's a rule required to have in your office, they can see it too, and that's not good. So that's an issue that needs to be fixed. I know Judge Martin's staff had started a list last week, and I think some other departments were adding to that list. If we can get that list, and I can put it through their communication system. And part of the problem is some of us know these people, or have gotten to know them since they were in our office. They were in my office for 2 weeks doing an install, so I got their phone number, so I text. That's not the way they want it. They want it through their system so that it logs and they get credit. And they, after this issue came up late last week, I contacted them. They still do have a company-wide travel ban because their employees, a lot of them work remotely and are located in various counties around the Metroplex. So because of the differences of the counties, the company president, Mr. Hazelton, who was here, he just instituted a company-wide travel ban for the time being. But I did contact him and let him know this was going to be on the agenda. And so they sent me some stats and figures. Since we started the install, they have had 200 tickets for Van Zandt County come through their communication system. And as she pointed out, that doesn't include the text messages and things that some of us have done casually. But of those 200 tickets, 86% are already resolved. Of the others, she had a definite answer for every single thing. The biggest issue, I think the biggest frustration for the other departments has been images. They started the install with the Sheriff's Department because that's where the process starts. They got all their images, their old images, and image means document. It means a picture of a document. They got all their old images converted into their system. They moved to mine. It took a while, but they got all of my images. They're having trouble now with the images for the two clerks' offices, which is also the court's offices, because they use those images. And one of the big differences between our old system and LGS is our old system, each page of a document was different. So that's why it was so slow, because every time I needed to turn a page, we had to wait for a whole new image to come up. I couldn't scroll through a whole document. So they had an issue with writing the software, and I'm just repeating what I've been told because I don't understand anything about computers and writing software. But the issue that they ran into was converting those single page documents to a multiple page one document. And program broke it in the wrong place. They had to start over. I think even before that, I think there was an issue with the last year or two of net data documents being stored in a different manner than the older years, something like that. And so they're on their third attempt now to transfer those documents. And they told me on Friday that they needed another day and a half or 2 days, work days, and that should be, those should be available. I think that will make the system usable for everybody. That will also give us another opportunity for the departments here in the courthouse to see if there are any more issues. But the main thing that I need is for the department heads to give me an identifiable list. These are the issues. And then I will fill out the ticket system in that department head's name, and submit to them for their, so that they have it in their record system and can accurately mark and respond to us when they believe it's fixed.
So there's a whole lot of tickets that you're going to fill out for the district court. It's quite an extensive list that I sent you the other day.
It is, and I think that list was made before the last interaction between LGS and the court staff, because many of those have been fixed. But let me also tell you this. Judge Martin and I have set up for today a Zoom meeting or a Bomgar meeting, which is where they take over one of our computer screens, for her to specifically show him how some of those issues have already been resolved.
And I thought, when I got to this, I think Judge, where it says judge, that's Judge Martin. And I think his clerk is probably going to ask my clerk, or this is a list that I proposed. I didn't know this to happen, right? But Judge Martin had asked her to put all the stuff in writing, which is a great idea, and present it, and then it winds up on my desk. Okay, there's that, this stuff that is being fixed. Okay, this is kind of what we're looking for from every department. And I'm Karen, Susan, I would like for y'all to make a list.
I just have a problem with not being able to call them direct, get a ticket, because I've been doing that. And just Friday, I called in, they give me a gentleman, actually, I think he calls me back. And I asked the question, he puts me on hold, and he never comes back. It sounded like he was working on his car. I could hear like a doorbell, something ringing or whatever, and I'm hoping he's supposed to come back any moment. Either he's gonna log in with me or he never came back. I had to hang up and finally texted Linda, which they do not want us to do, but I need things fixed pretty much right there and then when I'm working in it, and usually if they tell me, hey, I'm gonna have to call you back, okay, I don't push them, call me back. But this gentleman, I was just like, no, I didn't even get his name, but that just tipped me off. I had 20 minutes thinking he's trying to figure it out, we're looking at it, whatever. No, he never came back.
It's working on the call.
I guess, but I'm just saying, they're telling us we need to go through condos.
I'm not saying go to me every time you have an issue, but if you start the ticket through their ticket system rather than through the phone call is what they requested. I'm saying for now to get our major install issue solved, not for the foreseeable future, I don't have time for that. But for now, so that we're not calling 5 different people, 5 different of us calling 5 different of them. Let's funnel it to one thing in writing so that we are holding them accountable if there is an issue. For now, not for.
I just feel like it's gonna be a huge mess when we open up the courts and we start having court. It's just not gonna be good. I mean, we've got to step up our game, or they've got to step up their game and do something for us to be able, we won't be able to handle courts.
And that is your time. I've done those in chronological order. I don't know how these judges are going to find out. Because nothing is in chronological order. And we got so far behind on e-file that, we might bring something for April over in May. And just, for instance, it's going to stay like that. That May document, that nothing is in chronological order for the judges. I just don't know how that would be.
It's not in the order it's filed.
Well, I haven't seen that. I'm working in one.
See, we don't know what y'all can see.
Yeah, I'm working in, I've got a CRO here at 10. I was looking at it this morning, it's old one. And it's a counter petition. So I've got, I go into net data with Marvin to look at my old images from 2016 before, which are in LGS, obviously, they haven't been copied over yet. And then I go into LGS and I see the new file, and all that's in chronological. Even the old things, even though I don't have an image, they're still chronological.
See, they're not for us.
Maybe we need to look at.
How could you all be seeing two different things?
Well, because she has her own, the difference between LGS and net data is that in net data, she had a system, Strickland had a system, and we just viewed access. We only viewed their system. Here, we have our own course application. They have their own course application. So it's not just a view access.
That's just worried that y'all will be all on your case.
So ours is chronological, at least I believe it is. I mean, it has different dates, and I go down and I kind of track the old stuff where I need to see something, and then I flip over to find that image, so I can put the case together.
Yeah. I haven't seen that when I've looked at,
That's what our system is.
trust me, I've been looking at your system a lot, because I've been working on seniors. And it's chronological to me.
Maybe we just look at it, and then we can look at it on first thing she showed us. And
Yeah.
then we're on our meeting today, maybe we
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, just show us.
are you seeing that?
I think so on some of the cases, I think it was, I mean, our civil cases, I've got a note here, it says that LGS, cannot open civil cases manually, which we've always been able to do. We can't do that. We're trying to get them to try to help us do that.
What does that mean?
I don't know what-
We go on there, and if we don't have everything to it, you can actually go in there with that data and just give it a case, and I just scan in a couple things that you might
Oh,
know.
I see.
They're telling us we can't do that, but on different,
She's talking about just taking bare bones information. and
Correct.
creating a problem for information, rather than, so you're saying you have to have complete data input
Yes.
before you go. You have to get all of the fields before it'll give you an.
So Karen mentioned something, if you enter something in on a criminal case, can everybody see that?
Right now, yes, sir, even if it's sealed. That's what's scary. Another thing on it is that I'm worried about is citrus. They're not even, they don't even have it programmed where if you have a motion to revoke, that you can't.
That's not an LGS issue. That comes from the Department of Public Safety. Whatever system reported the first adjudication has to be the same system to report the second adjudication. That's a DPS security issue. So, and I talked to Cedars about this, because y'all, I am panicked about Cedars. I wasn't a week ago, but I am now. And I've talked to the DPS people about this. Everybody wants to blame LGS. That is a DPS security issue.
I'm just thinking citrus, because are the girls gonna take time to go to another state system?
They better.
Well, I mean,
They better.
how can you do it in that bad, you can put, that's just.
You couldn't, because whatever system you use to report placing the person on
I can
probation,
understand that, if they're saying that the difference says,
that's not true. That is not true.
that's what my girls understood, that
That
if we
is
had
not true.
somebody leave it in and revoke them.
No, that is not true.
Okay, all right, so they can do, I can understand having to go back to the old system for that.
Yeah. So I got an email Friday, y'all, and I was embarrassed. Van Zandt County is the lowest in our region on seniors. That is embarrassing. We shouldn't be the lowest on anything. We're at 86%. I've been working, it is not my job to babysit the other department heads, but you know what? Y'all gonna get an email from me every Monday. Today, I guess it'll be the first to send an email, because this is ridiculous. We should not be that low at this point. And there's an email floating around saying that Susan, that your girls don't even know how to log on to the state system.
and that's not that and work with us. And say maybe, I think a couple hours where he was supposed to come back in. Probably like a month and a half later, then we shut down. That's what happened.
Okay, so have you made contact with the lady at the East Texas Council of Governments?
No, I plan on doing that this week. I've had to try to balance my books, which would not balance for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. I've been working on books, trying to get that done from the scene. That was also a priority. Also, you know, they're out there saying that we don't know what we're doing with sieges. We've asked some questions to LGS just because of net data. I'm just gonna go back. We're asking questions. They're telling us they can't help us. One of the things that I think Tabitha was asking, is this called LGS, told us to call our sieges rep to find out how to close and release from probation on LGS.
Right, sieges is not.
I guess
we're
we're
learning
sieges
from
from that
sieges.
to do certain things and get it done. And we can't do it with LGS, and that's where they're trained to do. I mean, that's all they know.
They are not trained to do sieges. They can't, because just like net data could, you have to do that through the sieges training.
Okay, but with that being said, I mean, like, we would go in, we put in the codes and stuff. This is what Karen did for years for the county, from my understanding, because I can tell you on the juvenile stuff, Tabitha had no idea. She's been here 10 years. I've been in there a year and a half, and Tabitha had no idea that she would go in through sieges and do any reporting.
Well, juveniles at 100%, so she must be doing
Well,
well. Well, I assume the books, they couldn't do the book side, they didn't do it. I don't know. Right, so juveniles at 100%, so somebody's doing something.
Okay, but that's what
the
I'm saying,
adults.
and it's not my place. So that's what I'm saying, is she did not know, that's where LGS got their little thing of, we didn't know what we were doing with sieges,
Okay.
because they got the Tabitha, that's where they were trained, was at Tabitha's desk.
Okay, it's a sieges issue, it's not an LGS issue. We have to get the training through sieges.
I understand, and he was here, and we were trying to get that trained. And then he left, and then we shut down, and we haven't been back.
He's still working, he will come even though we were shut down. We have to get this, we have.
I have no idea. I
Because she has
yeah,
volunteered,
I
she
think
has
that's
sent out
probably-
emails,
Well,
volunteered.
I mean, first of all, you just need to call the state, call that James McCoy and get set up on the state.
You know, yes,
And then y'all know how to do these. Y'all know the codes.
that's what, yes, we know the codes, I mean,
But
But
they
the
don't
codes
know.
and LG, I mean, internet data, so you don't have to, but codes.
we know, but for some reason, somebody sent out an email to the judge and whoever, I don't think I got that email. But to tell us that we know nothing
They
about
claim
it.
that none of them have a password to get on the state system to fix the errors.
And that's easy, Susan, I'll show you how it's easy. You know, you just access, you just.
I've done it before, I did it when Sheila Bledsoe was in there.
Then you should have access, just tell me your password. This is usually just your email, and then you just get your girls on, because I just had to get Elizabeth on.
When's the time run out on
60 days.
July.
July.
The end of July.
Gotta be 90.
Now, here's the other thing that I just found out that I didn't know. And I'm gonna have to find out where their announcements come from, because I hadn't heard this. For this year, the year that we are already a quarter into, we have to report all convictions and adjudications within 7 days. And if we don't, we lose our grant funding next year.
I won't be able to change that.
Next year it's 5. This year it's 7, next year it's 5. So, and that, I can't help with that. The Sheriff's office can't help with that. That is, those are completely a clerk's function. So.
I think that's gonna be easier with LGS, because it's automatic.
Right, the
You're not
way
relying on one
LGS
office, because maybe we did it every Friday.
right, so you did it every Friday under net data, it had to be done by you, one central uploader. So if your girl happened to be out of Friday and skipped the Friday and every one that we had done in that 2-week period would be untimely. So now it uploads every other day. The sheriff and us upload one day, you guys upload the next day. So that's only a 1-day lag. So as long as you get it entered, within 4 days, 5 days, then it'll be uploaded within this, the required 7. But 90% of them have to be uploaded within that time, or we lose our grant funding.
Send me an email on that if you would.
You have
They have to
about
be in
the-
there 7 days after.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
They have to be entered 7 days after they plead or put on probation, dismissed, whatever.
And that's changes your logo.
What does this court need to do?
There's nothing for the court to do. Judge is real good about sending the department heads the emails that he gets from SCOG and from, our DPS representative. The only thing the court needs to do is hold us all accountable. Because it's a big, it would be very devastating. Y'all know you gave me permission to ask for a new lawyer. I already have a victim assistance coordinator. I don't know how many people the sheriff has on grant, but it's not just the people, it's the funds for special projects and things that we would lose if this isn't done.
I just know there was one day, last week, the week before, the judge was out or wherever, I came down here to give stuff on a juvenile. And there was other people from different offices there, and it was a gripe session. And it was a gripe session of what is not working for you with LGS. Only 10, well, this was very long. You know, so for me, you know, at some point, you know, you're not talking to people. You think you're alone with all these problems, and you're calling in and trying to fix it, but we're not alone. There are major issues that we're trying to get through. So as long as we can work it through, I mean, I've got on the phone, I called them, emailed them. You know, for me, I called them and they said, okay, we'll put a ticket in. That's fine. I just want to make sure I have a ticket in there. But I'm just not telling you, after talking to several people, I was like, man, this is not good. This is just not good. Now, can it get better? I don't know. I guess I can only pray.
But did you get confirmation that you put in the ticket with the number?
They usually will get it.
Like, who are you talking to then? So,
Wynette was in there, Ashley was in there, I was in there, Chrissy was in there. I think Tabitha may have come in later, but yeah, that's what all was in there. Everybody was having major issues.
major issue, what I would consider a major issue, not having your
Right, and
document
that's-
out, right, is not a major issue. It's efficiency, work every day issue, I would say it's a major issue. Because if we went back to net data, we would have major issues as well. We had them for over 20 years and they
And Judge,
$200,000.
so your office obviously has some issues, that's what the memo that apparently started this. But overall, are you happy with it?
Overall, once I get my images, I think it's going to be a significant improvement in that. So the speed and the ability to get in and maneuver the system, efficiency and speed has just been better for me. Now, obviously, the list, and this is what I told, Ms. Curry, was my staff, they work in it every day. I'm just viewing images. I really don't have to get into the system a whole lot to get what I need. But they're the ones setting up the
The
cases.
work is already done by the time.
Right, they're the ones they're the ones working on it. They're the ones working in the case every day. And so they're the ones that have the efficiency issue. They're the ones who say, hey, for instance, they try to send out a notice and pulling attorneys from, 4 or 5 years ago on the case. The first attorney in the case, as opposed to the last attorney in the case. While that's not a major issue, it certainly does slow it down because the notice is going out to the wrong attorneys. That's going to delay things for obvious reasons. So while I'm listening to my clerks and when they're telling me I got this issue, some of it has been, well, it's not my net data. Well, that's
And that's
always going to be
fine.
the case because we don't want to do it the way net data did. We went away from net data for that reason. So some of it's going to be out of training, learning, new ways to get in. And so that's why we ended up piling our list. Okay, what is it non-negotiable item? What do we have to have? What is a new learning process, a new way of getting it? And some of it, I told part of this, some of it is, LGS said, hey, we can customize this for you. My girls, are like, okay, let's customize it then. And there's a laundry list of things we need to customize. Now, that's going to take a back burner until we can get the images and, seal issues. Those are major issues that have to be fixed. I know those are taken.
I had to call a different county to get help. I called a different county, I went up to Karen's office, Karen knew the lady, we called her from Karen's office, that's where we got our help.
That's where we get.
That's where we got our help.
I don't think I'm just.
We've never had that problem. We call Sherry, we call Richard.
I talked to Sherry today,
Judge,
I think we
everybody
have to
else
call
says,
everybody.
they haven't been with that company over a year, that's what's disappointing. And they have to call somebody else, and they have to call somebody else, and then 3 days later, you're getting up. I have text. I texted them over the weekend because they were gonna make us late on this last thing. The court would pay. I did text them over the weekend. I wanted help. I wasn't gonna be one cost account. Sure. And I mean, she told me not to text her. That's fine. I'm not gonna text you unless I need help where I can. It's just like, I mean, there are things that deadlines that were on, we have to have that. And she turned around and put it into a ticket, which on Monday, which was fine. But, I mean, I did text her.
The only other issue that we haven't talked about that Judge Kirkpatrick and we just talked about is with Sandy is the money. We want to make sure that we're not paying, we haven't paid on what we have for months that we're not fully functional. Karen's not fully functional, Susan's not fully functional, which means I'm not, and Judge Winters is not. So we talked to Sandy about that. I think we'll talk to Abby about that, something about that. That's another major issue. Images, making sure that we're not paying for a fully or a partially functioning product. Once we get those two things straight away, I think that more time is going to be able to be put on these customizable issues for these things that are not the non-data way. That's what I think. Hopefully we'll know more about that. Those are the major issues. I mean, images, make sure that we're not paying. We all agree we wouldn't be paying for it.
And I did bring that up to them, and Abby was gonna check with the building department, obviously she doesn't do, she's not in accounting, she doesn't do billing. Because they bill in advance, like I don't know when they send the bill out, but when you receive the bill, it's for the coming month. So she's gonna check and make sure that we didn't receive any bill for this.
Get a question, but I just want, if Karen, if you and Susan would submit whatever problem you have to this time, you also submit to the court, so we can keep an ongoing list of what's going on.
Can you CC on our help desk? Can you include them?
Probably, I don't know. I would just,
That might be a way to do it. That way they just see, that way they can get submitted directly. You're not having to do it. Yet you're notified of it.
well, but I think for this go around, I want to make sure and send it to for this go around, I'd rather submit one list, one punch list. There you go.
You have
I appreciate everything. Really important that if you call somebody, you still make that ticket. Once a company goes to a ticket system, that's the only way they can track it. And that's the only way you can get to the head guy or the head person. Because if you make that phone call, he don't see that. Then when he goes up to the top people, say, I don't want to ticket on this phone, nothing, nothing. But I call, oh, Joe, very well. Joe's not on the note, so even if you call Joe, make that ticket so that they can track it and they can see that it's not done.
I think so with that.
Second of all, I want to make sure that I understand this guy now. The issue, the speed has nothing to do with LGA.
The only difference between the software system, whatever you use, software system, the only thing it does is transfer the information to CDs. With LGA, with net data, each department put in their own information. And one department under net data was responsible for sending that to CDs, to Austin. And that was the district clerk's office. I don't know if that's the case with every net data county or not, but here it was the district clerk's office, and they chose to do it every Friday. LGS uploads the data every day. From one day, it'll be the sheriff and me. The next day, it's the two clerks. And there's a reason for that. It's because certain data has to be done before the clerk data is done. So every office, nobody has to sit there anymore and say, send this to see, like we had to with net data. Because Peggy, every Friday, had to sit down and do whatever on the computer and say, transmit all this to see. Now, it happens at 2 in the morning, nobody knows it's happening. It happens every day. One day these two, one day these two. That's the only difference as far as CJIS is concerned. Filling in the information, it's a drop-down box, you choose the right one, you put in the dates, and it goes. So the only thing that's different as far as CJIS is concerned is how and when the data is transmitted.
Okay.
And Susan, Kay got to be very, very first.
Correct, that's
She
why
did-
when this email went out, I'm like, goodness, Kay's been here for 20-something years, have done it from the sheriff's side, DA side, clerk side.
I mean, she was my lead staffer on that, DA's office, and helped me learn when I came in. 2011, and did that for a number of years. And she knew that system inside out. And she was the go-to, a lot of people called her.
I
She was
just don't-
well versed.
I don't get it. I mean, I was in those meetings when we would go over, whether it's at the DA's or at probation at the beginning, we would all meet, kind of go through it, the sheriff's office there. I just don't get it.
And I don't know, Sue, I wasn't there that day, I don't know, but multiple people have reported that she was the one that said that she didn't know how to do it, she got mad, she stormed out. And
I
she,
don't even think he was
I
at.
wasn't there. I'm not vouching
Wasn't even
for
right
her.
either.
I wasn't
That makes
there,
no sense.
I know.
Well, my deal was.
We'll get it done. Let's just do it
Susan,
that way.
I said, Susan, here's, I mean, guys, you know, I'm just trying to forward the information. And my deal was, here's a contact person saying, David Cleveland had reached out. Well, Andrew from DPS had reached out to David Cleveland, David Cleveland had reached out to me, from East Texas Council of Governments. He said, look, we've got some resources available. Give. And so I give Susan Steddy's phone number. I said, contact her, contact Andrew. Doesn't matter to me. Contact someone if you need help in your office. Contact someone that, and have them come in, sit down. I know the courthouse is closed, but we're still open for a central meeting.
Right, and this is a great time.
I can get
I mean, I've gotten a lot of secrets done from my office in the last 2 weeks, and I've been forwarding you the open offense reports.
I've seen.
So that y'all can be working on.
You know, Drew, and you know, Karen, I've worked with Drew for a couple of years now. I think admittedly, Sheila may have been a little bit better
Yes.
doing that than Drew, but, not that Drew's bad, but I think if you contact Drew to help you get set up, you know, with your email password and all that, I've never worked with Stephanie, but I would probably start with her, just because Drew's
Drew
method of
did not get
communication.
this set up.
He's a little more, I don't know, black and white, kind of dry, unless you ask a very specific question, you're not going to get that very specific answer you're looking for. So I would, he's kind of an acquired taste.
He knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff.
She's got some
She did
personality.
not get tapped in a lot of.
Yeah, he's not gonna break it down. You're gonna have to go in there and ask the right questions. But it took me a while to start figuring that out about it. So that would just be my practical advice. If Ed Cog, who's got a dog in his race,
They're very concerned.
yeah, they're very concerned. Let them come down and let them help
Yeah.
and see what you've got, because even if Drew comes, he may say, well, I don't know your system. You gotta figure that out. It's true. You know,
That's
but,
true, and when he did come down is, I want to say it's either the week before, I mean, it's right when LGS is, just elections, or we're in the middle of it. He kid comes in, he sits at his desk, he can't get her to log, I mean, he can't get her a password, can't get her to log in, I don't know what the problem was. She
Bring him
forgets
back.
Stuff,
Bring stuff, bring
you
him
know,
back.
well, that's what I'll do.
Just haven't got any criminal system,
No, I've got Keena doing.
then you need to, whoever is gonna be your
But
criminal.
we got concerned because of the juvenile stuff that he was talking to her about, saying that, and she's like, I've never reported.
Juveniles
That's
at
what we
100%.
need.
Juveniles at 100%.
Juvenile,
That's
that's
what
what,
Andrew told.
but I'm just gonna say, those codes that you're using in that data are the same exact codes you're gonna use online.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's different. I mean, you're just gonna, it's like old paper, that,
What is it?
CR, it's just like that. I mean, it's gonna be the sheriff's arrest, the prosecutor, and then the side. It probably is better because you're getting a live view of the picture. I mean, that's where I would have to go fix. Because you gotta see that every, all those steps happen. Yeah, that's.
No, I mean, that's figured out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
then,
think just for a workshop.
Yeah, no, yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
But it's something, and I want to get you guys, court takes it very serious. Procedures, and we need to get this thing transferred, over to guilty. And I think we got a plan. Scott, even if you have a punch list, to get the conduct, and she, I think she, what I heard was she, on this go around, a punch list of all the big issues that needs to be addressed.
You want to take this now?
no,
I know. You know what, when she said this, she said, she didn't have the time for, to take something else forever. I thought, bless your heart, you've already had a chance to go with that. What we deal with on a daily issue, I know we all do.
I just want our county, I don't want to see us at the bottom of that list. I want us at, obviously, I want us at 90%, but I don't want to see us at the bottom of the list either.
And a couple of years ago, they discussed 1 to 95%.
Phew.
That's what, and it worked, we thought it was there for a while.
It's scary, when it gets these last couple months, you're just like, okay.
Okay, I don't think there's any action needs to be taken on item number 6. Is there a motion to adjourn? Got a motion by Commissioner Pearson, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Melton, all in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.
LGS stand for
What
I'm sorry?
Local governments.
Local government solutions and CGIS.